This video is going to be a bit of review. We're going to talk about divisibility of integers. So we're first going to review the definition of divisibility, then we're going to do a sample proof. So basically, divisibility is what happens when you divide two numbers and it results in another integer. So there are three ways of stating this. First of all, you can say n divided by m is an integer. That's the most straightforward way of saying it. However, it's going to be useful to have some other characterizations. Another way of saying this is n divided by m is equal to k, where k is an integer. And if we want to clear out the fraction, we can multiply that on both sides by m to get n equals mk, where k is an integer. And that turns out to be the most useful way of stating divisibility. So our definition is, let m and n be integers. We say that m divides n, and the notation is putting a vertical line between m and n. If n equals m times k for some k in the integers. There are other ways of saying this. We could say that n is divisible by m. We could say m is a divisor of n. We could say m is a factor of n. And we could also say that n is a multiple of m. So our little practice theorem is going to be, let a, b, and c be integers. If a divides b and if b divides c, then a divides c. So as with everything else, there's something we have to assume, something we have to show. It's pretty straightforward because we have an if-then statement. We're going to assume that a divides b, b divides c. Then we're going to show that a divides c. So what we mean by a divides b is that b equals a times k, where k is some integer in z. What b divides c means is that c is equal to b times m, where m is some integer. And notice that we used m instead of k in that second equation because it is possible those two integers could be different. What we want to show is that c equals, well, something times a, where that something is an integer. All right, so let's see if we can figure that out. Well, we know that c is equal to b times m, b is equal to a times k, that b appears twice there, once in the equation with c, and we can plug in that second expression for b equals a times k, into the first to get c equals a times k times m. And then we can use the associative property to write that as a times k times m. And we know by closure that z is closed under multiplication, so that means that km is an integer. And that tells us, since c is equal to a times km, that a divides c. So now that you've seen this example, you should be ready to work on the activities for divisibility of integers. That's on the PDF file included with this video.